Hey, what is up guys, HYDRA here and welcome back to another video on my channel. So this video opening a quick unboxing and review of the PWNAGE Ultra Custom Wireless gaming mouse. So I'll be pretty much just doing a quick unboxing of this mouse to start the video off, and then we're going to go ahead and do a comparison and just review of the mouse in general. So covering things like the cable, the buttons, all that sort of stuff. I mean, the cable, I don't know if you really kind of care if this is wireless, but you know, whatever. You get the idea. We'll cover those sort of things like I normally do on my reviews, and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So yeah, without any further rambling on guys, let's go ahead and start with the review. Alright, so first we're going to start with the unboxing, I should say, actually, not review. So we're going to go ahead and do this now. Probably not going to talk because I got to sort of move away from my mic. I've got a bit of a scuff set up here at the moment. It's a bit of a temporary one. It's not exactly like I normally have, but that shouldn't interfere with the video quality at all. I hope so, at least. Now, before I actually do go ahead with the unboxing, I just want to quickly have a look at the box and just sort of do an overview of it. So it says, I don't know if you can see that, it says designed in California, or designed by PWNAGE in California, which is kind of reminding me of the Apple, of like an Apple iPhone unboxing or whatever. I guess a similar thing on the back of it, in a similar font as well. So very nice packaging, I guess. It feels nice, high quality. So there's the actual mouse itself. It just comes in a nice little packet. I'm gonna put that aside and just take a look at everything else in the box as well. We've also got the cable here, which is in the box. So this is sort of a paracord-like cable, which is really good because since this mouse is in fact wireless, if you need to charge it while like you're in the middle of a gaming session, you can go ahead and plug it in without having to worry too much about the cable interfering with your gameplay, because this is a nice sort of soft paracord-like one, so it won't interfere too much with just on a stiff braided cable or something like that, like you can find on other wireless mice. You also get this little thing here. I'm not actually sure what's inside here, so I'm gonna take this apart real quick and just have a little look. Interesting. I believe these are the little parts, like little side bits or whatever you can put on the side of the mouse or something like that. I'm not really sure. That's why I'm taking it out now. Yep, so I'm right. So these are the buttons, so you can actually change out the parts on this mouse, which is why one of the main reasons I really like this mouse a lot. It's really unique in terms of what you can do with it. So you can sort of buy these separate ones. I mean, I didn't buy this separately. This came with the mouse, so you get this black one. So this wouldn't really add much of a difference except just change the color. But I might just do this anyways because the white might get stained over time or something like that. You know, since it's white and using a mouse over time does tend to leave marks on it. So I might consider that. And the other one here, we've got some other pieces as well. So yeah, this is what I like a lot. So I don't really like honeycomb. I don't really like honeycomb mice at all, really, to be honest. I don't mind them, but I do much prefer when it's just a hard cover without any like holes in it. So I'm glad they included this. They included a black version of the honeycomb shell, and they also included a black version of the hard shell without the holes in it. So that's quite a lot of different things that you get in this mouse. To be honest, it's pretty crazy. You can get all these different things, you know, just from out. I mean, I like it a lot. I'm glad that it's sort of you know, making the whole modding thing just like they're going down the whole path of like, you know, what consumers sort of want. So I've obviously been reading the mouse review Reddit quite a lot, clearly, because you know, this is sort of the thing that a lot of people have been really asking for, is just a mouse that's like easy to mod, you know, by themselves with no tools required and all that sort of good stuff. So I'm really glad they're going down this pathway. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually take a look at the mouse itself. So of course it comes in a sort of packet, like I said before. And there you go. So this does, you know, just feeling it now, it feels relatively light, I think. My Muffin Mini over here that I'm using at the moment feels probably, actually, you know what, it actually feels a little bit heavier, this one. So yeah, no, this feels very, very light, to be honest, for, you know, the size of the mouse and all that sort of stuff. It does have some RGB lights down there too, which is really nice. So we'll take a nice look at that in a second. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this. I'm going to cut to, you know, just a little bit of an overview of the shape and all that sort of stuff. Then we'll go into more in-depth details later on. Alright guys, now quickly before I go ahead and do a quick sort of shape overview, I just wanted to actually just sort of do this on camera. I was planning on doing this off camera before I started and continuing the rest of the review, but I just wanted to show how this works. So it turns out it's actually really easy to remove the back cover. I'm surprised at how easy it is. I was thinking it might require a little bit of force or whatever. You know, it might be a bit, you know, clunky or whatever. It's really annoying to do, but it's really simple in fact. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how it works right now. So in the instructions, they advise you use a toothpick, or you can even use your fingernail to do this. So this is truly toolless. You don't need a screwdriver, anything like that, like I thought you would. So yeah, I'll just show you now. So you sort of just want to put your fingernail underneath this little lip here, like this, and you sort of just grab it, and he just barely, with barely any force required, it just lifts off like that, and just comes out just like really, really easily, which I'm really happy with. This is like fantastic design, to be honest. So yeah, that's really, really cool. Now it's got a little pawnage logo down there, which I think is quite nice, to be honest. But yeah, let's go ahead and install this. I was planning on also putting the buttons in. I'm not really sure how to do that just yet. I'll give it a go now. I think you meant to just do it from here, right? Yeah, I was right. So you just simply lift up from here, like that. Lift up, and then it comes out beautifully. So that's very effortless, to be honest. I'm very happy with how this mouse is designed. Truly amazing design, to be honest. I'm very happy with this. More companies should definitely consider doing a mouse like this with different shapes and all sort of stuff, because this is really, really good. I'm very happy with this. So let's go ahead and do my sort of customizations now, like I was planning on doing originally. As it clicks in, very easy to do. I'll put the back part in as well. Easy as that. So that's how you can get your mouse looking sort of custom. You can actually get different colors as well for the clicks, and even the DPI button you can do as well. I kind of prefer, I reckon, with the white clicks. It does look a bit cleaner. But I'll just keep it like this for now. I'll probably just change it on later. But we'll just do this for review. I can't be bothered to go into it again. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on with the review. Actually, I might also just quickly cover these other things that I forgot to mention as well. You do get more things in the box. So I'm just like blown away by how much stuff there is. I wasn't planning on this at all. There's a lot of stuff to cover. So this video might turn out to be a bit longer than I expected. But you also get a DPI button thing as well that you can put in. So I could have done this beforehand, but there's not really much point. It is actually rubber, so it's a really nice sort of feeling button here. So it's not going to get annoying or whatever in the way, because, you know, I tend to accidentally click the DPI button if it's like a hard plastic, or if it's like really extruding out of the mouse shell a lot, like on some of the mice. You also get this sort of I think that's a USB-C to USB-A like dongle thing, I guess, or like receiver. I'm not really sure. Here's the actual receiver itself. So you plug this into your computer. That's how you can get the connection for the wireless mouse. And then to charge it, you just use this nice cable here, and it's a USB type C, and you plug it right into the front of the mouse, like that. So it's really, really well designed. This isn't. I'm honestly blown away by this mouse. Honestly, it's a lot more than I expected. I didn't actually do any research on this mouse. I mean, I did a little bit, of course, but I didn't do a whole lot before ordering. So I didn't really know exactly what I was going to. You know, I wasn't expecting I had no idea what I was going to expect from the box or whatever at all. So, you know, this is pretty good. But I think that's just about it, guys, from the box. Let's actually go ahead and actually start with the review of the shape and the mouse and all the, you know, generic mice thing. Alright, so unfortunately I couldn't get the lighting working, so I apologize for that. So there's not going to be any RGB feature in this video. I'm not sure what the problem is. I tried out doing everything, but just can't seem to get that working. But that doesn't really matter. Wasn't planning on doing a review of just the lighting anyways. So yeah. So basically, the shape is pretty much almost identical to the EC2B series or EC2 series from Zowie. So some of the only differences that I can notice is that the curve is not as aggressive sort of on this sort of side here on the left, and it feels like it's a little bit maybe like slightly smaller, like barely a bit smaller. I don't actually have my EC2B on me at the moment. It's at my other house right now, so unfortunately I can't do a direct comparison. But just from what I've seen, and just, you know, I've used the EC2 like quite a lot, so I can sort of, you know, give you an experience, like a description based on my experience with the EC2. I can just tell you that it's very, very similar in shape and size as well. So there you go. Now, the sensor might be something some people might be worried about, because if you read it, this is like PMW 3335, I believe it is. And if you're like me, you might not have heard of that sensor before, and you might think it's some, you know, crappy off-brand, or like, you know, well, just normal PMW sensor, but just not good because, you know, you never heard of it, or it's like some cheap one to keep costs down. But turns out it is a top-notch sensor, so it's just as good as the 3360 or 3389. But the only difference is that this one is designed for low power consumption. So this sensor is really, really top. Is a top sensor, but the only difference is that you know, you get more battery life on this mouse, which is the entire purpose of it. You know, since this is a wireless mouse, so no worries there at all. There won't be any sensor issues at all. I mean, I'm not really sure how to do a proper sensor test, but you know, just from what I've read, I can tell you that this sensor will be formed perfectly for what you need. Now, I did see a review on this mouse just beforehand, before I, you know, went ahead and made this video, just so I can get some, you know, sort of knowledge about the mouse before making my video on it. And I saw a Bad Seed Tech review, and he said that the side buttons are really bad because they go right into the shell. Now, I was worried about this, and I tested it myself, and for me, they don't even go into the shell at all. They just go like that. And he said they were similar to the EC2 side buttons as well, but for me, they're absolutely not at all like that. They feel just like normal side buttons. I mean, they do feel a little bit mushy, but like, to be honest, they're very clicky. They barely have any post travel at all. It's just a nice little bit of pre-travel, and you just click it. There's probably like, you know, like a fourth of a millimeter post travel there, and it's barely noticeable at all. Like, it just feels, this is me pushing maximum force, and you can see it barely goes into that mouse at all. It seems like they might have fixed that issue, or maybe I just got lucky and he just got unlucky. But I'm assuming they've fixed the issue. That was quite a few months ago, that video release. So there's that. Now for the cable, I do want to quickly just touch on this cable for a little bit. So I'll just take it on my bungee right now. So it is a USB Type-C cable, and it does have the nice shielding and all that sort of good stuff, which you'd expect on a high quality, you know, mouse cable. But some of the things that you might want to keep in mind is that it is a little bit stiff. So if you don't know, with most companies, when they have to make a mouse and they want to make a paracord type cable, they are like legally required to put in some sort of shielding on the inside of the cable, which is usually like a type of metal or something like that. It's not like, you know, like steel or something, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't be a cable. But it's like some sort of like wire shielding or something like that on the inside. And then kind of see that when I bend it a little bit like that, you can kind of see it does sort of keep it shaped like that. And this can sort of cause a little bit of interference. It's still better than a normal braided cable or even a rubber cable as well. But there are definitely some better stock cables that I've seen, especially on the new XM1 cable, or I mean, obviously just normal paracords are like 10 times better. Like, you know, for example, this is like, does not keep it shape at all. It's a fantastic cable on that one. But I mean, that's obviously a custom cable, and it's difficult to sort of get those. So yeah, just thought I'd mention that if you're planning on using this mouse with this in all the time. But I mean, to be honest, if you're buying this, you're buying it for the wireless, and you don't want to be using it with the cable 24/7. And this has got like 40-hour or 60-hour battery life anyways. So you know, it should be fine. Alright, so on the mouse feet, this has got 100% pure PTFE mouse feet with rounded edges. So this has got really nice glide, just like you'd expect from any modern mouse these days. They've all got really nice mouse feet, so I'm really happy with that. Alright, and it turns out I managed to get the lighting working. It turns out I'm just an idiot and I had to switch on the front and not toward the back. So keep that in mind, guys. You're meant to have to switch to the back of the mouse if you want to have the RGB. Otherwise, if you have it to the front, it'll just have the RGB off. So, alright, so now you can see it, the mouse in all its glory. That RGB does look pretty nice. The camera's not going to pick it up too well. It's pretty bright, it seems, but there you go. Alright, let's go back onto the review, and let's not get too sidetracked here. The scroll wheel feels very nice. It's pretty smooth. It's a very generic sort of feeling scroll wheel. It doesn't feel like anything too special, but I would say it's decent. Everyone's going to like this scroll wheel. There's no problems at all with this. It's not like some weird one like a Zowie mouse wheel or something like that. You know, if this is one of the things that matters a lot to you, you'll be happy with this mouse wheel for sure. DPI button, I mentioned this before, but yeah, it is a rubber DPI button, so the cover is just rubber. You can replace this if you want with like a black one or whatever, but they're all rubber feeling. I just have all my DPI steps are the same, so it doesn't really matter which one I go to, because, you know, they're all the same for me. I just, you know, choose the color I like or whatever. But yeah, that's the DPI button for you. It feels pretty nice, very springy sort of feeling, I guess. But it's not going to be one of those annoying ones where you accidentally press it. But for me, just because I'm clumsy and I would probably do that anyways, I decided to just disable all the different DPI steps and make them all the same DPI. Now, I'm not exactly sure on the exact type of switches that PWNAGE is using in this mouse, but they feel like they don't really have much travel to them. They feel very short travel, pretty stiff, but very nice sort of clicking feeling, I guess. They're not too loud and annoying and like obnoxious sounding at all. But you know, I think these are pretty decent switches. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with these. I think they're pretty good. Just by the way, guys, I'm doing a sound test in just a second. Just gonna cover the basics first, and then we'll go ahead and do the sound test of all the different buttons. Alright, that pretty much covers all the basics of this mouse. Wait, really quickly, gotta cover the weight real quick. So I believe it's 70 grams with the hard cover on, and I believe it's 68 grams with the shell cover. So I mean, not the shell cover. I mean the cover with the holes in it, the honeycomb cover. So if you care about weight, you might want to use that one instead. But yeah, that's that pretty much. And then yeah, let's go ahead and do the quick shape comparison with other mice. Then we'll go ahead and do the sound test, and that'll about wrap up the video. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just gonna have to hold my phone here to record all these mice. I've got quite the collection here at the moment, so I can't really use the tripod. I don't have enough. It doesn't, you know, let me get all of them in frame. So yeah, I sort of arranged these from largest to smallest. Of course, this is gonna vary because a lot of these are like some of these are ergonomic, some of these are just ambidextrous shapes. So it does depend a lot on that sort of stuff. But you know, I've pretty much just done my best, and they're all from largest to smallest. So hopefully you can sort of get a good idea of all these mice and their sizes and shapes. Of course, they're all very, very different. But I'm going to do a quick overview of all of them now and just sort of compare them and just sort of mainly do the ones that I think are, you know, most, you know, similar. Of course, I'm just going to be focusing on the pawnage one now. I'm not going to be doing it out of mice and comparing them to each other. Just the pawnage compared to these ones. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started with that. Alright, so I think the KPU is probably one of the most similar mice that I've got here to the new PWNAGE Ultra Custom, mainly because it's also an ergonomic mouse. So it does have quite a different shape to the PWNAGE mouse because, you know, it's got that massive thumb groove here, and it's also quite a lot smaller in terms of shape. And I'd say this is more so designed for fingertip grip or claw grip, whereas the other one is, you know, mainly just for palm or claw. But, you know, either way, these are two very, very similar mice. I'll go ahead and show the PWNAGE as well. There you go. So this is a little bit difficult to do with my hand holding the phone here, but I'll try my best. Hopefully it's, you know, good enough. Yeah, as you can see, it's quite a lot different. I'm going to do a top-down comparison of them both now as well. But yeah, there you go. There you can see them both. It seems like they're both kind of similar in length, actually, than I thought they were. But the KPU is certainly quite a lot smaller in the hand. Mice are really pretty interesting and like that, I guess. Like, they do look like older mice look very similar, like from the top or the side even. But they all feel completely different in the hand, so it's sort of why I like this hobby. You know, they're all very different. There's so many different things that, you know, come into play with mice. So you know, it's all about choosing the right one for you, really, which is why I like doing these reviews, to help out people. Another one I'm going to do a quick comparison of is the XM1, mainly because this is also kind of decent for claw grip, just like the PWNAGE is. So there's a side for you. Now I'm not going to do the other side because this is the same on both sides. It's an ambidextrous mouse, so that's the mouse right there. There's the front, bottom. These are not the right mouse feet, as you can probably tell. These are just random Final mouse feet that I have lying around because this doesn't have any for them. But here's this one. I've noticed real quick, quickly just mention something, that I think this mouse, it turns off the RGB when you move the cursor. I believe it's doing that to save battery life, because if you're moving the mouse around, you're not going to really see the RGB anyway, so I guess that's kind of good. I don't think there's a way to turn it off though, but you know, it's decent. But that's why it's turning off while I'm doing this. But that's pretty much the best comparison I can give. There's not really a whole lot I can do with comparing these mice, mainly because this is just so different to all the ones I've got. I don't really buy ergonomic mice very much, and there aren't even that many ergo mice out there, to be honest. So it is kind of difficult to do this, you know, compare this to this mouse. But I'll try my best. I wish I did have my SC2 on me right now. That would be a great mouse to compare this with. But I mean, there already are some other videos that do compare it, so if you really need to see that, definitely check some of the videos out, you know, on this mouse, because I believe there are a few that do compare it with the AC2. Yeah, that's the best I could do with the comparison. Let's go ahead and move on to the sound test, and then we'll wrap up the video. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and do the sound test now. So I'm going to quickly just do the left and right buttons, the DPI button, the side buttons, and of course the scroll wheel and the scroll button itself. There'll be text on the screen to tell you which button is being pressed. You'll be able to see it in frame anyway. But yeah, let's go ahead and start with the sound test, guys. Alright, and that's going to wrap up this video, guys. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more content just like this. I'm planning on doing these weekly, but it just, at the moment it's kind of difficult to get some new mice, mainly because of the whole COVID-19 situation, and there's not really many mice releasing, so it's kind of hard to get my hands on them, but I'll try my best, and I'm, just still expect to have a new video at least once a month, but, I do try to keep up to my weekly content schedule, but there's really not a whole lot happening right now with in terms of the whole mice industry and that sort of stuff, so I do apologize for this. I wanted to get this video out way earlier, but I had a lot of shipping, problems, and this mouse got here quite a lot later than I wanted, but, we got the video done. That's all that really matters, and I'll, continue to do what I'm doing. I'm not going to quit YouTube anytime soon, so yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy these sort of videos, but yeah, thanks for watching, everyone, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.